All right, let's see here. My audio working? Let's see. Testing?
Right.
Okay,
See
it's working.
Alrighty.
Okay, this is important to look at. We have some bullish momentum on the 2-minute, but the 5-minute is still balanced. So that means we don't have enough data, is my guess. Yeah, so all I have in the chart right now is the indicator. I'm just using a separate version that I made here for testing. And what it does is it has this state change responsiveness, which helps you figure out how much a move is going to move to invalidate the current bias. And that's very powerful because if right now on the 2-minute chart, with the current volatility, on average it takes 20 points for us to change states from something to something else on average. So even if I got into a trade here, I'd want a minimum of 20-point stop because that could just be chop or like standard volatility. So I do like this setup here. If we continue to hold this, I'm probably going to get long. All my basis is based on the indicator, but if we don't hold, then I will not take a long. The indicator is a state-based system. Each of these candles is telling you one thing, and that thing is where's momentum, and that's what it's doing. It's doing it in real time. It updates. Notice that this candle flipped balanced for just a second, but the buyer stepped back in, pushing us higher here. So I'm actually going to take a long here. And again, we probably want to have that, what are we thinking here? 36-point stop is worst case scenario. So 31-point stop is pretty good. And we'll see what happens. Now, for me to get out of this trade, first off, the stop gets hit. Or we form a balance candle with just, that tells me that momentum has stalled and we'll probably not want to go higher from there. So markets on Sunday have been open for 43 minutes. So we've had a little bit of what has happened. We've pretty much, I mean, we've pretty much gone nowhere from open. So other than the tank that happened, right? But this candle was just didn't exist. So okay, this is following exactly what we wanted. We had this tiny little dip here. It went to balance, but it failed to slow down its momentum. And we printed another bullish candle, and we're now forming another bullish candle here. I will move my stops here below this candle here. Notice that we're attempting to go back to a balanced candle, but it's not, so it's holding. This is looking pretty bullish still. It might take me out, but it still looks very bullish. I actually like this. I'm going to close it. Alright, that's our first trade here of the night. It's a pretty easy trade with the indicator. We saw that we had this bullish momentum. We paused, and then we just never didn't hold bullish momentum, and we just kept climbing higher. So what's kind of fun is we can look at this zone right here on the 30-second chart. Take a look what happened. That little can slow down on the 2-minute. These wicks, you can see right here, those are the wicks. Without the indicator, you would see this. But with the indicator, you see momentum. And notice after this consolidation rip, we never actually had a reason for it to go back down, at least for now. But I had a 40-point move, so I'm going to take that. Okay, it's good that we got out. Notice here we have these, we're starting to form some wicks. And we have one balanced candle and a second balanced candle forming. And that is telling us, so it's pretty simple. There we go. It's pretty simple to know what a balanced candle is. These candles update in real time. There is no reprinting, as people like to say what things are, but so what do we do now? Well, nothing. We have we have small candles with large wicks, balanced. So this tells me that there is the bullish momentum that was there is currently not there. So there's nothing to do, and I really don't want to short this move until we get some sort of larger bodied candle. Maybe below the 20s would be a potential short if it does hold bearish. Otherwise, I don't see anything yet. And again, same for bullish. This can just spike down, get above the 60s, 65s. But you can see how chaotic it might get on the 30-second chart. See, this is very important to look at. We have really tiny candles. They are bearish, but we're not getting any follow through. So, at least at the moment. So this thing could just be a little consolidation, and before something else happens. And here we go. This is kind of what I was thinking. Let's go back to the 2-minute. Thinking above the 60s here. This thing might flip back to bullish. We could ride like a flag pattern, or however you want to look at it, because that's what it's doing right now, is it's forming a flag. What's cool about the indicator is it works with any other indicator, so you can also add any other confluence. We can look at like we can look like MACD, just to compare it. Notice MACD might cross soon, so that's also a bullish bullish thing. But you really don't need that with the indicator. I'm going to put a long order in here above the 62s. And I want to have 30 delta, so down at like the 30s. be what I'd want to play. Here we go. We are starting to form a bullish candle here, but we're still chopping around. Ooh, look at that. This is brutal. So the market had bullish momentum, and then it just completely is trying to reverse that. So there is some manipulation happening here. This bullish candle is not incorrect. There was bullish momentum here, as was this balance candle is also not incorrect. This bullish momentum stopped. So. But this could just be a little trap before ripping higher. On the larger time frame, it still looks you can start to see it's just balanced, so the longer we consolidate, the less interesting this current long sounds. Let's go to the 5-minute. Notice that all that move that we're looking at is just balanced inside of the larger time frame. So. And the overall time frame trend is down, and we could see that on higher time frames. Here we go, bearish, 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 bearish. This is also a bearish candle, so the indicator does confirm what you do see. It's designed to do that, so what your eyes see is also what the indicator sees. This is bearish momentum with some bullish pops. So best case scenario, if we do start to print bullish candles, I mean, us getting to the 600s is probably a most likely spot. And if that's the case, then another 40-point move would be great. I'm no longer interested in longs now. It's starting to do the classic consolidation and then bearish push down. So this is one of the harder points to try and trade because we just had this consolidation. So the real question is, what are we gonna do now? Are we gonna just dip down and pump back up? Doesn't seem like it. Let's get short. I want to get in quick on that trade. Again, I'm looking for somewhere between 17 and 30 points as my stop, so that's what I'm personally going to use based on the indicator. If it loses 500s, that's going to be pretty good. It probably push to the 580s. '90s almost. Let's see here. As long as you hold this bearish candle, it's still good. Because we did push up pretty hard here, and we are still trying to, looks like it's trying to hold below the consolidation. Remember, the indicator is designed to always tell you what is the market doing? And this candle is red, so it's going down. It's not ever predicting anything. It's just, this is just what it's doing. So if it pushes down to the 80s, I might get out. It could just flush past the 80s. And then you start to get into the, this thing might dip down somewhere here before doing something else. But then again, because we're in this pretty strong trend down, we could make a new low. Or we could chop around. It is Sunday. I hate that. Balance candle starting to form, so it's looking still looking good. This is not looking very strong, so if this thing was actually strong, it'd dip right back into this balance zone and continue chopping around. But it's not doing that, so this thing could just cascade down. Might be trying to do that thing that I just said, where it pushes back up into the consolidation and chops around more. Let's go to the smaller time frame. Look at the 30-second chart here. You can see that we're forming some bullish candles here, so this is not what I wanted for a bearish continuation here. Again, it's doing what we thought it would do, move back into this consolidation. So this is an exit, this is a get out. Oh yeah, look at this thing. Look at this bullish candle that just is printing right now. This is a massive candle. 40, 50 points. We're gonna get in on this momentum. Okay, it kind of does suck that this initial push down did not have follow through, but we did see that in the 30-second chart here. We got out. Unfortunately, we did take a little bit of a larger hit, but that's just how trading is. We noticed the bullish momentum came in right here on the 30-second chart, and that told us that, okay, whatever this move was, consolidated and then pushed higher. So that's why we're currently now long, even after we took a loss. Okay, here it is. Here's the 600 push that I was looking for. I'm gonna get out. Generally, the 100 levels are, we rip right through them, or they act as barriers. So, and there's no point of us risking, because we are trying to take profits when we see them. Now we start to get into that same idea that, okay, well, we were going down. Are we going to bounce around here, or chop around, or do something, or we do something weird here? Who knows? We'll know because the indicator will tell us. Look at the 5-minute though. This is interesting. We had this dip down and then we completely reverse it, so our momentum is bullish. So this is something fun to look at. Let's look at the 600 level on the 30-second chart. Notice here, at least for NQ, whole numbers of like 600, 500, 400, whatever. Any whole number of 100 is often a zone of indecision or resistance or support. probably be done soon here. We're up almost $200. Generally around this time is when you could probably trade up till 7 o'clock, and after that it's not very fun. I can assure you it's gonna just look like a chop fest. Let's go look at like some 7 a.m. at some 7 p.m. action. Or some after 7 p.m. action, I should say. Yeah. Yeah, look, like, this is horrible. This is between 7 and 8 o'clock. It's just, oh, up, down, up, down, up, down. It's just chop. It is good to look at this, though. Because if you notice, the indicator is showing you all these little micro traps that the market is doing. Generally, when you see this, it's probably not a good time to trade. What you want to see is well, maybe this one's not bad, because this here would have been a good candle to trade. I am going to take another long. $30 seconds pushing bullish. We're holding bullish on the 2 minute, 5 minute. It's also bullish. I like to use the 2 to 5 minute as my levels to get out. So I'll use. We're actually pretty volatile right now. It's chopping. Yeah, this trade's not looking ideal. We had these little bit of bullish momentum, and it's already starting to stall out here. I'm gonna have a much tighter stop here. in theory, this looks good, right? We got 1, 2, this is the third potential bullish candle here. Now that I said that, it's gonna chop around. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. That's not ideal. So this is either going to just collapse here, or it's gonna be a little bit of a trap and then push higher. Yeah, this is pretty common. We're basically in a consolidation zone here. The market attempted to push higher, and it trapped longs, but it's also trapping the shorts. This is the same thing that I showed back previously here, like 10 minutes ago, where you get these, you start to form these zones, pockets of momentum flips, which remember, the indicator is not telling you to take a short here. It just says that that candle was short. It was a bearish candle. Momentum was down. But then the next candle right after that, momentum flipped back up. So this is manipulation, is what that is. It happens all of the time. See, we went up, manipulation, tried to go back up, and then failed, and then we dumped down. So, manipulation. This trade here is now looking sort of better. Pushing above the 30s now. There it is. I'm gonna take that trade there. We're sitting at $260 profit. 75% win ratio. We took 4 trades tonight. Stats are here. We had 1 loser, but we had 3 winners. So overall, pretty decent session for Sunday Open. But I think because this is slowing down, like it's starting to be choppy, we're not getting that follow through that we would want to see, like we did here, or like here, or here. Now it's just this blob of consolidation. So we'll see what happens at like 6:30 here. Sometimes an aggressive candle will come in in the 30-minute intervals. Yep. So this is again that situation that we're gonna it's probably gonna wanna not do anything for a little while. We just have these pops here with 2 or 3 candles with no clean direction. There we go. This is also a bubble here it's trying to form. I just draw these because it helps people see. Generally, this price action here is balanced on the higher time frame. Notice here it's balanced. The 15-minute will probably be, yeah, still balanced. We could probably maybe fine tune it. Maybe we get to like some weird 6-minute chart or something weird like that. It's not showing anything nice. So this price action may seem easy to trade with the indicator, but I can assure you that these bubbles here that I'm drawing out are pretty choppy. I mean, this thing looks like it wants to do like this because that's what it's been doing. From there to there, there to there. But it's chopping around. It might dump below these lows and whatever. But overall, it is a bullish drift, I guess you could say. Thankfully, we were able to catch the bigger moves that did happen. And again, it's doing kind of what I figured it might do. Push back up to there. Might go make a new high again and then drift lower. So I'm going to call it here. This is turned into a choppy market here. It's no longer super easy to trade. On the 30-second chart, notice the overlapping candles. Bullish, balance, close inside of that. It's just these big candles that are just trying to chop people up. Whereas when we're moving, there is no overlap. It's just a directional move. Boom, directional. Even here was more directional. So yeah, have a good night, and I'll probably live stream more often.